Hello, Snack Chat family, Snack Pack. Welcome back to Travel Snacks. So, what's up? Who's with me today? I know it just started, so I will wait for a few minutes just to see if anyone's here. I don't know. I'm still trying to get used to Snack Chat, so we'll just kind of wait. But if you are with me right now, let me know where you're coming from. I was the last snack chat I did, snack chat. I can't even talk today. The last snack chat that I did, I was in New Orleans, Louisiana. And if you watched one of my recent videos, you'll know that I ended up having to drive home, and I did that in like 2.5 days. And it was a lot of driving. So I did make it home 2 days ago, and it's crazy because when I am not traveling, I live in the desert with my parents, and it is the straight desert. And I'm going to show you in a little bit where I'm at, but for now, it's just been like right now it is hot. I don't know how hot it is, but it is very hot out here. So last time I did snack chat, I was in a totally different location. And so that's the cool thing about traveling though, is that you're always able to see like different scenery. So there it was like green and beautiful, and out here it's just like totally deserty, cactus and roadrunners and bunnies and stuff like that. So it's good though. Like I'm in a sense, of course I'm glad to be home, but at the same time, I also like miss being out on the road. A lot of people were like, "Aren't you just so happy that you get to sleep in a bed?" And honestly, sleeping in a bed wasn't even like the thing that I missed the most. The hardest part about being on the road is not having just access to a toilet all the time. So when I got home, I was just like so happy. I was like going to the bathroom like every hour just because I could, just because it's super easy and accessible. So it's been great. But out here in the desert, it is very hot. So I'm gonna have to like turn on the car and like have the air going because it is just too hot. Real quick. And hopefully I don't run out of gas doing this. So anyways, I don't know if I'm alone on here because I really can't see the the part that shows where everybody's coming in from. So anyways, if you're with me right now, let me know where you're coming from. So the first thing I did, obviously, when I came back home is I went in the house. I said hi to my dad. My mom was at work. I said hi to my dad, and then I was like, I gotta go take a shower because if you've been following along, you'll know that I was in Louisiana, and one of the reasons I ended up coming home is because they were like, okay, now Planet Fitness has closed, and that's where I get my showers. So, like, I didn't have a shower, and so I was like, oh my gosh, this is gonna suck because I still have like 24 hours of drive ahead of me. So I ended up just like, cleaning up with wet wipes and soap and deodorant and just like changing my underwear like a few times a day and just like staying as clean as possible because I had done my laundry in Louisiana. So I had all fresh clothes. So that was a plus. The laundry mat was still open. But I obviously didn't have like a full on shower. I almost went into a hotel and was like, yo, can I just like use one of the rooms that somebody just checked out of? But I think that would have been a little bit strange and they probably wouldn't have let me. But it all worked out. By the time I got back home, I just jumped straight into the shower and it just felt so nice just to have like a real shower that I didn't have to wear shower shoes in. So, anyways, if you are joining me right now, let me know where you're from. I am out here in the desert, and after I leave this particular area, I'm going to Trader Joe's because I went to Walmart this morning because, as you know, like I've been in my car, so I don't have any groceries at home. So now I need to go get food so I can start cooking at home. Um, so I went to Walmart this morning and it was just like everything was still bare. I thought that it was going to be way more stocked up than it was, but it was not. So I got maybe like 2 bags worth of food, but it wasn't like super, like I couldn't put like full meals together. So everything was just like, you can get this thing, but you can't get this thing. And it was just kind of crazy. So now I'm going to go down to Trader Joe's. Hey, Sorgy Stories. Hey, in Milwaukee, fell in love with Arizona Cali Desert on our, oops, I don't know if I could, oh, here we go. On our last road trip, better than the snow flurries we're having now. You guys are getting snow flurries? And also, hello, Fireproof Sun. Snack pack, yes. You guys are getting snow. What's crazy is, okay, so right now my car, I turned my car on because it's hot. It says 71. Macwacha, Los Angeles, near Dodger Stadium. I love to go to Palm Springs this time of year, but I couldn't this year. And also, Fireproof Sun, just got snow in Denver. Whew. It's so crazy. Like, it's 71 right now and it feels super hot out. Also because I'm sitting in the car. That's why I had to turn my car on right now. But like I was saying, like after this, I need to go down to Trader Joe's because there's like, I'm trying to eat less meat and like more health stuff and more vegetables. And the Walmart that I went to was just out. What about you guys? Like, are you guys still going to the grocery stores? And if so, are the shelves pretty bare for you guys too? Because I heard that they're getting like normal supplies of food and whatever they would usually get. But when I went today, just a couple hours ago, it was like all the lunch meats were out, pretty much all tuna's out, all the rice was out. I didn't check for water because we have water, but a lot of things were out. So I could, and tortillas. I really wanted tortillas because then I could make like black bean burritos. And how do you not have tortillas? Like, tortillas is something that I need to have. So hopefully they'll have that at Trader Joe's, or if not, maybe I'll have to go to another grocery store. But I'm not trying to go to a bunch of grocery stores. And they really don't want you to be just out. And also, there's a lot of people at Walmart with the masks and gloves, like surgical gloves. And I thought that's like a good idea for the gloves because, as you know, when you shop, you're like, touching things, looking at the ingredients, or like, rifling through to get the best one with the date on it. So I don't know. I think it's a good idea maybe to wear the gloves. How are you holding up with the California shutdown? Well, so I just got back 2 days ago. Yesterday, I pretty much spent the whole day editing a video in the house, and I didn't go out at all. But I'm already antsy. I think it's hard for me, but just like being so free and being on the road and like just out every day, and now to be like in is very hard. And also, I'm staying with my parents when I'm not traveling, and that's hard too because you kind of want your own space, they want their own space, and so I have a room in their house, but it's great. Like, we're a close family. But at the same time, like, I'm used to having a lot of quiet and they're used to having the TV on all the time. So I'm like, I need to go sit in my car. So that's another reason I wanted to just get out and drive. So um, the California shutdown so far, it hasn't been terrible. Like, you can still go, to the grocery store. But I will tell you that pretty much everything else was closed. Like, so even some of the fast food restaurants have shut down, even the drive-throughs. Um, like Jiffy Lube was closed. I'm like, well, what if somebody needs an oil change? But I guess if people aren't going anywhere. Um, there was just like, I'm trying to think of all the things that I saw that were closed down. But pretty much everything, a lot of things. And I'm doing okay. Like, I think it's fine. I mean, my philosophy is to keep doing things, but not do things like where you're just out with as many people as you usually would. So for me, like, I feel like if you are at home and you like wash your hands really well, and then you like kind of sterilize your car, get in, close the door, and don't just be like having your windows open, I think it's a great time to go driving around. Like, it's a great way to clear your mind. So even if you have access to a car, you can just drive around and go to a park and stay away from people. Sorry, I don't have my glasses on. Let's see. How well can you create your space to build or find a sacred space to pray, think, be present to yourself in social distancing, solitude? Have have you found that there? You mean like with my parents, like at my parents' house, or just in the desert, or just in general? Um, I guess I can answer all three of those. So at my parents' house, it is, I'd say it's fairly difficult because, um, it's their house. So I would never tell them what to do in their own house. And they like to watch TV all day. So I'm the type of person that likes quiet a lot of time. So what I do is, like, I have my own room there, but it's right next to the living room. So I hear the TV. But what I usually do is I'll put my earbuds in and I will just like have like a, you know, like instrumental music playing so that I can just like kind of center myself. And I start every morning with like reading my Bible. So that always helps because it just kind of gets me going in the day. Um, and then I will just get in my car and drive around. So I don't have a problem doing that. Um, so I think it's fine. Also, I think my two sons are going to be coming out to visit this week, which will be nice because I haven't seen them in 3 months because I was gone on the journey like almost 3 months. Because I didn't see them, um, like I left on the journey on January 2nd, but I hadn't seen them probably since I think Christmas, so even before then. So I'm anxious to see them. So that'll be really nice. But I think it's been okay about centering myself. Um, I like to use the resources I have. So if I start to feel like antsy or anxious, I'll just go sit in my car and just kind of take a minute to myself. How about you guys? Do you guys find that, like, especially if you guys have kids? I don't know how many of you have like kids that are still in the home, but I've heard that it's been pretty difficult uh, for a lot of the parents that usually send your kids to school. So you have some time. I mean, you're obviously usually working, but also sometimes you'll have time to yourself a little bit. So I hear that's been difficult as well. Um, but my kids are grown, so I think that's kind of been a lot easier because it's just me to take care of. But it's been good so far. Like I don't know how long this is gonna last, but I don't have any intentions of locking myself in the house every day, like day after day. Like I will go for a walk. I'm in an area that's like kind of wide open desert, and I'll show you in a second. I'll just like get out of the car and walk around a little bit because I'm going to show you where I'm at. So, you know, where I stay with my parents, it's kind of a rural area. So I can get out and just walk in the desert, and it's very peaceful. That's one thing I'll say about the desert. It's super peaceful. And right now, even though it is hot at night, it gets really cool. It's like a true desert. Um, and like I said, I'll take a drive. But other than that, I think it's been fine. I also will take this time to start preparing for my next trip, which I don't know when that's going to be because none of us know, you know, what's happening with this whole thing. It can get difficult, so we have to schedule that prayer time, exercise time, and my wife and I find ways to be present with each. That is so good. That's another thing I really need to do is get some exercise because being in the car a lot, it's been kind of hard. I wish I had half your energy. I'm 25. um that's yeah, like I don't know that I feel like I have like a ton of energy, but I just keep going. In the meantime, snacks. The list. Yes. Yeah, if you have a list of snacks that you're eating, I'm going to tell you what I've been eating. Well, actually, like, so I got home 2 days ago, and the smart side of me, which I was really proud of when I got home, is that everything that I had in my car, I had in the house. So I didn't have to like bring anything in. Like all of my shower stuff that I have in the car, I also have like the full size bottles and stuff at home. So I didn't have to bring all my stuff in. So my car is still stocked with all the stuff I had on my journey. So I haven't really brought anything in, maybe like a couple things. That's going to have to happen probably tomorrow after church. But the snacks that I've been eating at home, like what's really cool is my parents, which is so weird, they never get this, but they're like, do you want to have waffles? On the first morning I was back, and I was like, yeah. And usually like my dad will make like the waffles, like in the waffle press machine thing. And then they pull out the like box of like Great Value Walmart brand just frozen waffles, and they're like, we got a new toaster. And I was like, That is so funny because they never have that, but they were delicious. So I've been eating waffles 2 days in a row, which has been really great. Not super healthy at all, but you know, whatever for that. Um, and I really haven't had too many snacks because like I said, I didn't have time to do groceries except for today. Now more veggie than chicken soup and well-rationed Girl Scout. Thin mints. Thin mints are the jam. Let me ask you this question. Do you guys put your thin mints in the freezer? Because if you don't, you should. Put those thin mints in the freezer, let them get like a little bit frozen, and then eat them. So then you got like that minty flavor that's cool, and then it's actually cool. So good. That is the bomb. And also, I never eat Reese's peanut butter cups unless they've been in the freezer. That's the only way that I'll eat. Like, I actually don't even care for Reese's cups if they haven't been frozen. So try those two things because I'm telling you, it makes like such a difference. And then, so what I got at the grocery store today, I got like a pizza that had like fire roasted vegetables, some fry stuff with veggies. I'm trying, you know. Next we may try to make those fried cheese curds. Oh my gosh, let me know if you make those fried cheese curds because that sounds delicious. It's something I've never had, but I heard that that's good, and I think that would be a smart thing. My parents do have an air fryer, so I can try that. They just got it when I was traveling, so um, what else? I'm going to Trader Joe's, so they have those they're like almonds that have like the coconut and then a covering of chocolate, so they're delicious. So I think I'm gonna get more of those. They also have, this isn't a snack, it's a meal, but they also have this bag of frozen pasta. It's like linguine with pesto and then like little cherry tomatoes. And I cooked that in my car on my trip, and it was so good. And I mean, I didn't get to like cook it really perfectly, so now I feel like it's going to be great when I cook it at home. And then of course I mentioned this on the last one, but I still have my goldfish crackers. And oh, and also this will be coming up in a future video. These are probably not good now, but when I was in Louisiana, oh no, they're not good. I could feel. I went to this place called Meshes. Oops, Meshes. I mentioned this on another video like way earlier, but I had to pass back through Lafayette, and this place has the best donuts. These are donut holes, but they're dead now. They're so good. That place has like, it's like Krispy Kreme, but better than Krispy Kreme, if you can imagine. So those are all my snacks that I've been kind of going for lately. I did get hummus and carrots. Like, I'm making this face because like usually I like to snack on like junk. And like I'm really trying. Like, I won't deprive myself. Like, I'm still gonna eat things that I like, but I'll just eat them in like moderation and also in small portions. So like if I really feel the need to eat chips, like I'll eat like a handful of chips. But I feel like I'm kind of lucky in that way because that does satisfy me. And I know for some people that's really difficult. Like, once you get going, it's hard to stop sometimes. So, I mean, I guess it depends on what it is because also, if it's like warm chocolate chip cookies, I'll probably make myself sick eating those cookies. Just not a good idea, but cookies are delicious. So what are you guys snacking on? Let me know what do you like, what are your snack options at home? And did you get enough snacks when you went to the grocery store? Like, people are getting toilet paper, but also get snacks because you're going to be home for a lot of hours. Um, Also, let's see what else. I'm going to have to clean out my car and get all the stuff out because I really want to like clean it out really well because after almost 3 months, you know, it's just been like in use. So I think that's gonna have to be the next thing. Oh, also, what's really cool, I think I was starting to say this, but there's a church um, near where my parents live, and they're doing a drive-in church service, which I thought was really unique because if you guys watched, I think a couple videos ago, I mentioned like I don't think that churches should close, but that was before I knew that it was like kind of mandated by the government. So obviously I agree with like following the law, like don't break the law. But this church, they're having 3 services, and they said it's going to be less than an hour. You just drive up like a drive-in in the parking lot. You don't roll down your windows, and then they'll just have like a PA system, I think, and then they'll just like preach the word. You'll have your Bible in your car, so nobody's getting germs on each other, but you're still kind of like in community, which I thought that was like a great solution to at least try that. Like, I know all churches can't do that because maybe their parking lot's not set up like that, but I think just to give people a little bit of sense of community, I think it's a really nice idea to try that. But are you guys staying in the house like full on lock-in, or are you guys like dipping out a little bit? I'm really curious to see what people are doing. I know that there's been like a few people on my Instagram stories, like one of my friends, she lives in New York City, and she went out and it looked super bare, like in Times Square, Rockefeller Center, and it was kind of like eerie to see it like that, but also very peaceful, because she was walking by and just like everything was kind of bare. You just saw like a person here and like a person there. So it was very interesting to see that. But then there was like certain cities as I was driving through that there was still a lot of cars. Like when I passed through Phoenix, a lot of cars. I'm like, where are you guys going? But through a lot of other states, there was hardly any cars, but lots of trucks on the road. Like so many trucks. And maybe that's typical, but it just seemed like there was just a majority of trucks. So anyways, all right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna step out of the car and show you guys, because this is super exciting, because I'm from the desert, so to me this is normal, but I'm gonna show you these windmills. Oh wait, let me read this first. Semi-lock-in, just necessities, maybe a once a week takeout meal from a place. Oh yeah, that's great, locally owned, perfect, and they're the ones that are in most danger. It's true. If you guys can get takeout and you have like extra funds, then do that. Mac Watcha. For snacks, I like guac with tortilla chips. Oh my gosh, I could eat that every day. Homemade popcorn with nacho seasoning. Oh my gosh, yes. Okay, I think we got disconnected because my phone got too hot. But I'm back. So what I was going to do is I was going to show you guys where I'm at. So you guys have probably seen it on movies and TV and stuff, but out here in the desert near Palm Springs, they have these windmills and they produce energy. So I will get out and show you. Wait till this car passes. I'm on like a very like rural road, but every once in a while you'll see a car drive through, because this is kind of a back road that locals know about. So we get a few cars, but let's go out. Let me turn my camera around. Okay, so as you see, this is like right by where you can like get in. Sometimes they have tours that you can take. I don't know if this is where you go, but you can see it like all around. There's like so many windmills or power generators, or I don't know what the official name is, but I don't know if you guys could see that because I can't really see because it's super bright out here. Let me know if you guys could see that, because it's like I can't really even see the screen right now. But let me turn back this way. It's a little bit better. I also need to change my screen protector because it's like bubbled, which makes it hard to see. Let me see. Let me go in the shade. Let me see what you said. It said, we Flatlanders fell in love with mountains like that on our trip. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, it is awesome out here. Yeah, it's super beautiful and super peaceful, and you can just drive here anytime. It's really fun. And let me turn back this way, because behind me, on this mountain behind me, that's the Palm Springs tram, their aerial tram. Obviously right now it's going to be closed. Let me get back in my car because it's windy. I can't see. Whew. But I don't know how much it costs, but you can take the tram up to the top of the mountain, and there's a restaurant up there, and it's really beautiful. I haven't gone since I was like probably in school, when we probably took a field trip, but it's really nice up there. So that's something that if you come to California and come to the desert, you could make, like, put that on your list. Also, you guys can't see it, but my grays are so bad because I didn't get my hair done while I was on the road. And then of course, like, my hairstylist, like, her salon is closed. She put out a message. I sent her a message and I was like, put me on the books for like as soon as you're back open, because my gray hairs are like so bad. And then I went to Sally Beauty Supply today, just on the off chance they were open, because their website said that they were going to keep their stores open, but then it had a sign that said, no, we're closed. So I don't know how many girls are on this watching right now, but they, like, if you're a woman, you'll understand. But it's fine. I'm not like freaking out over it, because pretty much I have to stay in the house, except for this live chat, and you guys are nice, so I'm not worried about it. But that's pretty much like what's going on out here. I think, I'm not sure like if it's gonna get worse in terms of closures and like more lockdown, but let me tell you, like, one of my friends lives in Italy, so I get like the update from her on what's happening. I'm putting my phone down so I can get the air. Hopefully the cops don't give you a hard time for leaving the house. Are they doing that? I haven't heard of that yet, but that would suck. Like, hopefully they're not doing that, because I think you can still leave the house. You just have to kind of stay in your car and stay to yourself. But anyway, my friend, she's in Italy, and so she'll post updates on her stories. And she was saying, like, you know, first you could go to the grocery store. Then they were like, okay, now only one person from your household can go into the store. Like, you can't go as a couple or a kid and their mom, unless it's like a small kid, I think. But you have to just one person, because they don't want people, like, you know, hoarding supplies, and also to keep the people down. In California and New York and Illinois, the governor said you can't leave the house unless it's for essentials like food. Oh, great. Well, I'm in like such a rural location. I don't think so. I haven't really even seen any cops out here. And there's plenty of people on this road. And plus, where this is like, there's like this is the 10 freeway. So it's like pretty busy, like in terms of people still driving on it. So I don't know if they're gonna start stopping people or not. But my friend in Italy, she said, so that's the thing they did. So only one person can go into the grocery store. Then she went to the grocery store by herself today, and today they were like, do you have a mask or a scarf? And she's like, no. And they were like, you have to have that now. And she's like, well, I don't have it. And they were like, well, you have to. And she's like, well, do you guys sell masks? And they're like, yeah. She goes, do you see the problem here? Like, I need to get in to buy the mask so I could go to the grocery store. So she asked the guy at the door, she's like, can you go in and get the mask and like get the masks, and then, you know, give it to me and I'll pay for it as I leave the store. And the guy was like, sure. So like, that was at least nice that he did that, because otherwise she wouldn't be able to go to the grocery store. She would have had to go back home and get a mask or a scarf or something like that. Hey, Two Sisters in a Cocktail. If you guys aren't following Two Sisters in a Cocktail, that's my friend Ivana. And hi, she's great. They have an Instagram and a YouTube, and they are actual sisters, and they talk about cocktails. So I think that's great. I don't drink, but they're so fun, and I think it's wonderful to like do that with family members and just have a good time. So yeah, we try. No, you guys succeed. I think it's fun. I think it's really great. So I was just talking about like what's happening in Italy, and then some of the people on the live chat were telling me that in California, they're like stopping people or telling you can't leave the house, except for essentials. But I'm out here in the middle of the desert. Ivana knows, because she's from the desert too. Like, it's a very rural area. So I don't think that they're at that point where they're gonna stop people. But I'll keep you posted. Like next Saturday, like when I come on, I'll let you know what happens throughout the week. I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna stay in the house the majority of the time this week, because I have a lot of videos still from my journey to edit and to post and stuff like that. my cousin works for a dog daycare and they refuse to close. You know what? There's been places that are refusing to close. I don't know if it's a law. Ivana, do you know if it's like a law, like if they can get punished for that, like some kind of fine, or I don't know what they would do? Like, would they come in with the National Guard and like literally just tell you to lock your door? I don't know. These are crazy times. We don't know what's happening. Yeah, I don't know. There's just different people are like, are handling it different ways. Yes, they can be fined and it's an ordinance. Oh, yeah, that's a bummer. It sucks because there's so many like businesses that are gonna lose so much money from this, and so many people that are losing their jobs. Like, just overnight they're laid off, or they're like maybe even fired, because a lot of these businesses might even go out of business fully after this. So it's just, I'm like, just feel for people, and especially like, not especially everybody, but like some of the younger kids too, like my nephews and other people I know, the kids that have like, you know, just the basic jobs and stuff, they're getting laid off. And you know, it's like they have rents and stuff like that, like everybody does, not just kids, but like everybody has rent to pay, car payments to pay. You have to still get groceries, you still have to pay your insurance. I was like, low-key, like, do I need to make my car payment this month? Because like that would be super helpful if I don't. And also car insurance. If nobody can go out, do we need to pay our car insurance? Actually, you can actually cancel your car insurance and then just turn it back on. Like, if you're going to be literally not driving your car. If you're going to still go out to the store, you need to have insurance. But if you're not, you could just tell them you don't want the insurance anymore. Because I've done that on, like, when I would travel internationally and I would be gone for like 3 months, I would just tell them to cancel my insurance, and then you can just get it back. Sorry, LOA, you can extend your car payment for 2 months. What? Who do I call for that? Do I just call my loan company? That's good information. If anybody watching this, like, that has a car payment right now, that's a good thing. I think I'm gonna call Kia. That's the car that I have, Kia Finance, and find out. Oh yeah, $1,200 checks one time for now are coming from the government. True, I heard that, $1,200. I heard it's gonna be for every month that we're kind of in this lockdown quarantine, and I heard that it's probably gonna be at least 2 times, which, bring on the money. Like, that will be amazing, because, you know, I have no income, so that's a great, wonderful thing for me to just be able to have. Like, I think it's good for everybody right now, because everyone's like, just can't really bring in the money and stuff. Yes, call your loan company, and this is true even when we aren't in a crisis. Oh, I did not know that. I did not know that. That is good information. Thank you, Ivana. So if you have a car payment, call them and, you know, push back those 2 payments, which is a total blessing. So that's good information. What else can I tell you that's happening out here in California? It seems like something new is happening every day, so it's very interesting. I usually don't watch the news, but my parents, they watch the news pretty much all day, which to me is very hard because I don't like negativity. So I stay away from the living room in terms of that, because I just don't want to see it loop over and over, because it's the same information. So-called Edison won't cut off your electric if you can't pay. That's true. I do know like the major utilities like water, gas, electricity won't cut it off. And also they're stopping evictions, and in terms of like mortgage, what do they call it? Like evictions and defaults or whatever. They're also like stopping that for, I think, 60 or 90 days. So like if you don't pay your rent, like if you can't pay your rent, they are gonna like push that off. Like if that was like close to being like the time where you'd get an eviction, I think they're pushing that off for 60 to 90 days. So if you're in that position as well. Also for unemployment, if you did get laid off or lost your job, they're waiving that 1 week where you don't get paid. and we have an extra 90 days to file taxes. Yes, that's also true, which is also great because I haven't done anything with my taxes when I was gone and since I've been back. So I'm definitely going to take advantage of that. But yeah, so if you do need to file for unemployment, usually there's a 1 week waiting period where you don't get paid, but they're going to just like squash that and you're going to get paid like right away. I don't know how long it takes to actually get the like actual payment, but they're not going to not pay you for that week. So that's good. I know a lot of companies are still paying their employees, depending on where you work. And also, like when I was in Louisiana, there was several restaurants that were closed, but there were a couple restaurants that were doing takeout, and they were giving like 15% off to anyone that's coming in for takeout, which I think is nice on their part because they're also losing money, but they just wanted to bring people in, so I thought that was good. I'm trying to hold my phone close to the air vent because it shut down because it got too hot. How do you like being back home? I kind of talked about that earlier, but it's interesting because I got home and then I was just like a zombie. Like I was just totally zoned out. I took a shower and then I like visited with my dad for a few minutes, and then I just was like, I'm going in my room to watch Netflix and just zone out. And like I was falling asleep so early, and then I would just like wake up, and then I like haven't been able to sleep at night, and it's just been crazy. And then I realized that when I drove back, I went through 2 time zones. So like normally when I'd be going to sleep at a certain time, it wouldn't be a certain time here, and like it like really threw me off. And plus it's just different. It's different. Like I've gotten used to like sleeping in my back seat and like having everything be a challenge. And it sounds weird, but now that I'm back, it's like my brain is trying to just get adjusted to it. And as I mentioned, like of course I'm so happy to see my parents, but also it's like it's not my own space, so it's a little bit difficult in that sense. So I just try to find some space and time to be by myself, to like journal or just pray or just like get out and drive around. But it's been good. But you have a toilet. That is so true. That like honestly, that's the biggest thing, because it's just so hard when you're out and like, even if you're sitting in your car and you're doing something or driving around, you're just like or even when you want to sleep in, you can't sleep in because your bladder has a different story about it. It's like, no, you got to get up and go find a toilet in a public spot, make sure they're open, make sure that they have soap, and make sure that they're like clean. We'll ask you maybe the most important question we can ask ourselves each day. Where have you seen God today? Excellent question. Well, I've seen God today in, first of all, just waking me up, giving me breath. That's always a blessing. Because if you think, like, have you ever just like had deep thoughts of like just like, this is gonna sound so basic, but if you think about it, like our bodies are so incredible. Like you lay down your body and you close your eyes and then you are unconscious. Like your body does that. It just like shuts down to where you have no like function. I don't know how to explain it. So, but your body is still working. It's just weird. Like if you ever just really think deeply about that, like your body just literally shuts down, like you're not awake. And then somehow your body just like wakes back up, and then you have been breathing throughout the night. So I always think that's a blessing. I think that's a miracle in itself, and it's awesome. And then I've seen God today in just like just the beauty of the desert, like just looking around at how grand like all these mountains are, and it's actually really beautiful. It's just beautiful. How about you guys? Where have you seen God today? That's a really great question. What else? I really hope that they have more supplies, I don't want to call it supplies, but I want to say like groceries at Trader Joe's, because Walmart was really bare. I went to the store today and felt God's shield around me, protecting me. Oh, that's a good one. That is awesome. I felt the same way when I was at Walmart, because there was I'd say a good majority of people with masks on and surgical gloves. And then I started to think, like, was I dumb? Like, should I have done that too? But I felt like God just, like, just being with me and just being like, you know what, you're fine. Just, like, do social distancing like they tell you. Lamont Thompson. Thank you. I'm glad I made it back as well. So I felt fine at the grocery store. Smiles of my wife and son, simple things, a kind of connectedness we haven't had even as we're socially separated, that we're all in this together. That is so true too. I'm glad that people are really connecting. Like, I really hope that that's what people are doing, that people don't isolate themselves. Please do check on your friends and family, because a lot of people will be just alone. And it really breaks my heart too, because I was going on, I did a Google search, like, how can I help? Like, could I go and serve the homeless right now, or could I go do something? But they were basically saying, like it's a great idea, but also social distancing. So, and like, if you haven't already been in the process of like serving, and like, I don't know if they do like fingerprints or whatever they do to like get you like in the system of serving, I don't know, but they were saying that's not really. But what you could do is, like, if you have any extra money, which I don't, but if you have extra money and you want to buy like toilet paper or canned goods, then that's a great time to be donating. Also, they need blood right now, so if you're able to donate blood, then go do that. I can't, because, like, this is kind of silly, but I got my eyebrows tattooed last year, and you have to wait a year after a tattoo. So even though it's like seems so silly, when I got this, she said that it is considered a tattoo because it has the ink in it, and they're using like they don't use a needle, they use like a very tiny like X-Acto knife. It's like very like a scalpel. So that sucks, because I in the past usually would donate blood like every 56 days or whatever it is. So I'll be looking forward to doing that. And I think my year is getting close, so I should check in on that, like when I had that done. But if you can donate blood, go do it. Like, they're separating the beds, like, I think 6 feet apart, so you'll be fine with that. But I do want to serve in some capacity, because it'll get me out of the house, but also I just feel like people are still homeless. And so what I was getting at is, like, there's a lot of elderly people that are always alone. Like, they just typically don't have anybody to talk with and like have around anyways. But now it's even worse, because they can't go to like the rec centers or the like community centers, or going to like, they have a lot of rec centers have like classes that they take, or even like bingo, or just even like sometimes they'll have like little day trips and stuff. So it's very isolating, and a lot of older people go to church, and so they're not able to get that. So Ivana, I would imagine they test for corona before taking blood. They probably do. I don't want to get all conspiracy, but I'm not getting a test. They stick that swab up your nose, like into your brain, and I'm not trying. It goes in your nose and like touches the back of your throat, I think. I'm not trying to let them put that in my. No, I'm not doing that. So I know people, we all have different opinions, so don't spam me with comments on that. But yeah, they probably do test you for it before you give blood. But yeah, did you not know that? Like, that's how they test. I didn't know that they do that for the flu test either. I've never had a flu test, but it's not just like a swab in the back of your throat like strep throat. It's, yeah, nothing is going up in my nose. Like, it's one thing to like swab, like, just kind of like right in there, but like they literally like take a swab and it like goes up, and like they say that it like goes in your cavity and like touches your throat, like you like gag or like cough. And people describe it as the feeling of them touching your brain. I'm like, bro, I am not. First of all, I don't even know what this coronavirus is or where it came from or like who put it out in the system. But I'm not getting that. I'm not doing that. That's not a thing. So I'm gonna trust God on that one. Hell to the no. I'm not doing it. Also, I'm seriously not trying to be conspiracy, but I'm just passing facts and just telling you, if they come out with a vaccine, I'm not getting it. I'm not getting it, because I think there's other things underlying going around, and that's all I'm gonna say about that. But if you can serve, there's a security guard right here. He's probably gonna tell me maybe. If you can serve in any way, like if you do have neighbors that are elderly, just don't get like super close or whatever. Just like if you can slip a note under their door, like if they need anything, or if you have their number, just ask them if they need anything. Like if they can't get to the store, or if they haven't had anybody like check in on them, try to do that, because you know they're not able to do a lot of things on their own. Plus they're probably very lonely. I wonder if this guy is gonna say anything to me. Like I'm right at the gate. Let's see, let me turn this around. I'm right here at the gate to like these windmills. And this guy is like right there. He's probably like, what is this girl doing sitting in the middle of the desert? Well, I'm like, I'll keep talking until he walks over here. Maybe he's just checking up on something. Maybe that is me that he's checking up on. But I'll keep this live stream going for a few more minutes and until. Just say that you were looking for directions. Yeah, actually he's leaving. He's like, this girl, she's doing whatever. He don't care. He's like, I still gotta work and everyone's at home. I'm pissed. Just put up a sign that says you have the virus. He will leave. Ivana, you are so funny. That's true. Like, I mean, I bet if I like put on a mask and had a little sign that was like quarantined in my car, I'm sure people would keep their distance. Actually, I should have just did that and stayed on the road. No, I wasn't gonna stay on the road. Like, I think I told you guys, I actually prayed about it a lot, and you know, a lot of my family members were like, come home, go home, and I was just like, I don't feel God's called me home yet, and I feel like I need to just calm down for a little bit and wait. Monique, what's up? I work at a doctor's office and we're still open, but once we run out of masks, we'll be closing. Is coughing considered a weapon? I think coughing is considered a weapon right now. It could be. Yeah, I heard that there's a shortage of those masks and they're trying to get them, but like the production hasn't increased. And also they need respirators and stuff. It's a real problem. And man, like I know that there's been a lot of people trying to come up with solutions about like using, I think they were saying schools or churches, I'm not exactly sure, but like using those as a place to like have people come to get tested. I could be totally wrong, but I've been hearing some like remnants as I hear the news from the other room, but I could be wrong on that. But it won't matter. Like Monique is saying, like if there's no masks, because you know, doctors, nurses, anyone that's working in the doctor's office, even reception or anybody that's working there, you know, you're already having to go to work, first of all. Second of all, you're putting yourself in risk when anybody comes through those doors, even if it's not this virus, it's just anything, any sickness. So to have those, you know, bits of protection, I mean, it's necessary. So it's a bummer. I hope they can produce those more quickly. Real quick, just because I just thought of this. If you guys like the Snack Chat Saturdays, put a like on this video, because that lets me know that you like them, and also it lets YouTube know that this is like a good channel. So I think that's good. Also, I think all of you guys are subscribed, but if you're not, then hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. The notification bell is important because then you'll know every time I upload a new video and like come on live to the live stream. Because I know that I follow a lot of people that do live streams on here, and I like, if I didn't have the notifications on, I wouldn't really remember, because I don't like write things down in terms of like live streams and stuff, because there's so much stuff going on, like so much information just all the time, that I don't really. But then if I get that thing like so and so is live, I'm like, oh, and then I just like jump on. So make sure the notifications are on, not only on YouTube but on your phone as well, or on your computer, wherever you're watching. Yeah, this is just like such a crazy time, but I'm really grateful for like friends and family that are like trying to like stay close to each other. I heard masks don't stop the virus. It's what you touch, and then if you touch your face, wash your hands with warm water and soap. So that is true. There's certain masks, like I'm sure like the ones that are in doctor's offices are probably like more quality or more made for like long term, like not long term like days, but I mean like longer span of use. But those little cheap ones, I heard those aren't anything. But also it's like those people are putting themselves in risks. So for us regular people that's just out and about, so what I saw is that like if I wear a mask, if somebody around me has any viruses and they cough or whatever, or just have anything on them, it's gonna go on my hair, my forehead, my arms, you know, my chest, like everything. It's like me having this right here covered, it's gonna maybe help me like for respiratory or like not getting it ingested, but I'm still gonna have like germs and stuff on me, or the virus or whatever. So that's why they want you to wash your hands, because you know, once you wash your hands and like scrub them and stuff, you know, if you touch your face, you've hopefully not have anything on you. But the people that are sick, that have any type of like virus or bacteria or anything, should wear that, because if they're like coughing or whatever, then it'll stop that from going out. And also hopefully those people are washing their hands and stuff. And also if you're sick, stay home. That's like super important. If you're sick, stay home, take care of yourself, and like ride it out just like the flu. Unless you're to the point where you feel like you need medical attention, then go to the doctor. But I think you're supposed to call first. I think that's the rule. So call first and make sure. Only you know how you feel. So you gotta like play that one by ear in terms of how you feel. But in terms of wearing masks, I don't know that that's like the greatest thing. And another thing I wanted to share, like last week I shared some couple songs that you can sing while you're washing your hands. But one thing that I think of, like this is like a mental picture, is have you guys ever gotten, I know you guys have, you get those cards for your birthday or Christmas that have glitter on them because some joker thinks that's cute. Me and my sister, we used to do this thing where we would send each other cards with like a bunch of glitter in it or a bunch of confetti, so when you open it, it would just be like super annoying. But I'm sure you've gotten those cards that has those like little fine glitters. I like think of it on my mind like that the virus or any kind of germs is like those little particles of glitter. And so when I'm washing my hands, I would think about like scrubbing the same way to get those little pieces of like shimmer off of my hands, because they don't like embed, you know, in your skin, but they stick pretty well. Glitter is cut up mylar. Yeah, glitter's not good. Glitter shouldn't, like you shouldn't blow glitter at people. If it gets in your eye, that's terrible, or your lungs or throat, yeah, that's not a good idea. But in terms of like just the thought of having glitter on your hands and you're trying to get it off, just try to like scrub it to do that. Monique says, yes, very true. We also have Lysol wipes bottles. We leave smelling like Lysol and super dry skin from washing my hands. That is true. Like I've used more lotion in the past couple weeks on my hands than I ever have, because I try not to like scrub so hard, but now we're just washing our hands so much that they're becoming dry. So just try to do the best, because you don't want to like get cracked skin, because that makes it worse. So you know, you got to gauge how hard to scrub. But I don't know. Like I have another question. This might be silly, but like, okay, so you're at home, you go to the bathroom, you know, you obviously use soap and water, but like, do you guys wash your hands throughout the day at home? I'm using Hemp's lotion, highly recommended. I love Hemp's lotion. I think that's a great lotion. I used to use Hemp's lotion. I used to get like the tanning bed tans, but that's terrible for you. But after those tanning bed tans, I would use the Hemp's lotion, and it would feel so refreshing and nice. So that's a good lotion to use, yes. But so when you guys are at home, like, are you just washing your hands just to wash your hands, or only if you go out? That's a question I have. Like, are you scrubbing for 20 seconds or 25 seconds every time at home? I don't mean in public, because obviously in public you should. But I'm curious to know what people are doing at home. It's very interesting. let's see, what else is happening? It's just like everything is happening like so quickly. It's like you don't know if something new is going to happen. Like I didn't even know that they were like, if they're stopping people and telling them you got to go home, that if that's happening, I don't like that feeling, because like I think you should still be able to drive around in your car. Sorgi stories, washing hands probably double than normal once in a while just to wash them, and singing the chorus to roll out the barrel while we do it. That's a great one. Perfect 20-second chorus. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I think I usually just switch up the songs because I get bored easily. But I like to sing like different like rap songs and stuff like that, because then it's like I can get like a little groove going and it's not as, you know, mundane every time. But anyways, I'm gonna show you guys, if anybody missed it, I'm gonna get out and just show you guys one more time where I'm at, and let me know if you have any questions. I'm in the desert near Palm Springs. It's actually a city called Desert Hot Springs. And it also, if you ever want to come to the desert area, Desert Hot Springs, or as the locals call it, DHS, is, you know, it's not the most, like, doesn't have the best reputation, but they do have hot springs here. They have several hotels and retreats out here that you can come to and go to the hot springs. So it is a good place to get away. And then Desert Hot Springs is maybe like, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes from Palm Springs. So it's still good. You still have a lot of things to do. Obviously right now it's not the best time because I think a lot of hotels are closed. I don't know. I think I heard that hotels are even closed. So that's a bummer, but let's check this out again and give you guys a picture of what's happening here in the desert. Nice puffy clouds. You see all the windmills going, generating energy, electricity. There's even snow up on those mountains, if you guys can see that. And it's just very beautiful out here. Yeah, so I saw, like, I've seen people out here on the back roads, like walking their dogs and stuff. And just some people were parked up a little further, and there was like a little creek, and I don't know what they were doing, if they were like together or if people were just like straight sitting in the desert. It's a little strange, but I think people are just doing the best they can. And I think this is a good time to be tolerant of each other and just like give each other the grace that everybody needs. Like, everyone's handling it the best that they can. So if you disagree with the way people are handling it, just, you know, you can express how you feel, but then like let it be. Let people have their own free choice to do whatever they feel they need to do, because I mean, you know, like me and one of my friends, we disagree on the way that I'm handling this, like when I was still on the road, but we're still friends. And she was just like, okay, well, you know, I know you're gonna do what you need to do. But the more things she would share with me, it really like sunk in, and it gave me the time to process it. But if she would have been like, F you, B, like you're just being selfish, then I would have been like, that's not the great way to approach it. So I think it's time to, like, a great time, not only now but always, to just be tolerant of each other and just speak kindly, and like try to speak with as much grace and also logic as you can, and just, you know, share why you feel the way you feel and let it go. Sometimes people need to like think about things for themselves, and then, you know, some people are praying about it too, and you have to give them a moment to come to their own choices. So if people are handling things maybe in a way, or you think people are being dramatic, or you think people are being too insensitive, or whatever it is, just give them the grace to come to the solution they feel. I always say, when it comes to giving advice, I always give people my opinion or advice one time, and I give it in a way that's like all to my points. I'll say, I'm just going to say it one time. I give them all of my facts and points, and then whatever they choose to do with it, that like they have, they're adults, they can make their own choices. And then I feel like I got it off my chest, and I feel like I shared what I needed to share. And from there, I still care and love about, care about people and love them, and whatever they decide to do is whatever they decide to do. If you guys have any last questions, then let me know, because I'm gonna wrap it up in a few minutes, because I've been sitting here with the air on, and like, I need to get gas soon. Girl, I was barbecuing right now, and someone complained that I was barbecuing. Like, who doesn't like the smell of barbecue? That's a great smell. I mean, I guess if you're not a meat eater. But you could be barbecuing vegetables, potatoes. I mean, I don't know. But barbecue smells delicious. I'm trying not to eat meat, but also barbecue. And also, like, it's like, it gives you an opportunity to get out of your house and like cook some food. Like, I am not a cook. I don't like to cook at all, but this is a time for me to challenge myself. So after I'm done here, I'm going to be going to the store and getting, more groceries so that I can actually cook every day, which it's going to help me to like build that skill. And also, I'm trying to cook things like consciously so that I can take those things on the road on my next journey when I leave, in whatever time I leave, in a few weeks or whenever I can. Because being on the road, eating a lot of fast food, it's so not healthy. Like I feel like coming back, I still feel kind of crap. So I'm really trying to figure out ways to like come up with meals and options that's very easy for me to do on the road in my car. So also, if you guys have any ideas on that, let me know. Or you can also DM me on my Instagram. I don't do Twitter, and I barely do Facebook. So if you guys, if you want to like get in touch with me, you can do that on Instagram. And my Instagram is travelsnacks_. And that's always in my description on all my YouTube videos. So does anybody have any last final thoughts or questions or anything that you'd like to say before I leave this desert? It is actually such a nice day. Like, I'm actually glad I came down here. Even if I wasn't going to the grocery store, I'm actually happy that I took this drive, because it gave me a chance to have some quiet and just be in the car. And yeah, it's been nice. And I just love talking to you guys and having these chats, because being in isolation is, not great. Anything we can lift up for you. Oh my gosh, thank you. Yes. I would say lift up for me. Oh my gosh, that is a good question. I really haven't even had a chance to stop and think what you can lift me up for. Okay, I have one. You could definitely lift me up for this channel in terms of watch time, because as you know, we hit the 1,000 subscribers, but in order to get monetized on YouTube, the channel has to have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours, which is an enormous amount of watch time. That means like every time you watch even like a 10-minute video, that's 10 minutes. Like, so the more people that watch the channel, the better. And the live streams are helping too, because we're on for like an hour, so it increases the watch time. So you can lift me up for this channel just to continue, because once the channel's monetized, it'll help me to stay on the road without like asking people to like donate to the snack fund and stuff, because I want to be self-sufficient, and I really just want to serve and be there for people to like inspire and to give travel tips and to show like what's out, so that people will know like, oh, I've never been there, but that looks cool. So that's really my whole goal, is to just inspire and encourage people to travel. So you can lift me up in terms of the channel growth. That would be amazing. Is there anything that I can lift you guys up for? Because I am praying for people. I'm praying for everybody, like the whole world, but also individually. I always like to just have things on my prayers, just to make sure that people that are watching or need encouragement, that I can be in agreement with them on that. There's a medical truck that's delivering supplies, so hopefully they're delivering some masks. That would be great. So is there anything else I can lift you up, or any questions? before we jump out of the live chat. Yeah, I think that's going to be it for today. I'm very excited about these snack chats. My transition from home to car, yes. You guys, Monique is about to do basically kind of the same thing, like going from home to a car. And there's a lot that goes into it. So everybody lift up Monique for that, because it's, I don't know the reasons, behind why you're doing it, but for me, it's been a life changer. I know it's like so cliche to say something like that, but it's really put my whole life into perspective. It's been one of the greatest things. And like, even just coming back and being in a house, like, I actually miss being in the car, which sounds so weird, but it's just like, there's a freedom to it. And there's just like a feeling of being challenged and being successful. And it feels good. And you also get to see a lot more of what's happening in the world. And you have a lot more compassion and sympathy for just everybody. And it's made me, like, I think I'm already a great person, but also it just made me even better person, because I feel even more deeply for people, and just I feel very happy and very like I want everybody to experience the greatest things that they can in life. So lift up Monique for that, because it does take an enormous amount of just everything to get going. But I promise you, Monique, like, once you do it, it might get worse before it gets better, which doesn't sound great, but the more you do it, the more you continue to do it and like push through the hardest times. You're might have breakdowns, but like just keep going, and just know that like you're covered and it's gonna be okay. So I think it's great. Like, I wish everybody could do it. It's not for everybody, but I kind of feel like I wish people could, because you just get a better sense of yourself. Sorgi Stories, to lift up, calm amidst the unsureness of now, not just for me, but for so many. Keep simple joys top of mind. And Monique, you're lifted. Yes, thank you. Yes. Yeah, everybody just lift up the sense of calm, because I feel like super calm and super just like everything's gonna be okay. But I'm sure you guys have noticed on social media that there's a heightened like anxiety. So we're all in this together. So just make sure to check in on each other, and just know that everything's gonna be okay. This earth and this society and just humanity has gone through so much, and we've always gotten through it. We always, like, there's always going to be peaks and valleys, and right now it seems like a valley, but we grow stronger through those valleys. So we'll get through it, and just continue to pray and continue to stay close to God. Get in your Bible, or whatever you feel you need to do to center yourself, but everything is going to be okay. So with that, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll be coming out with a video either tomorrow. If I can't get it done, it'll be for sure Tuesday. And then of course, I'll see you guys next Saturday for Snack Chat Saturday. So until then, bye for now. I don't know how to turn this off. Oh, here we go.